Hello everyone, my name is Kumar and welcome back to our channel KUMAR Programming. This is the 19th part of this series where we are building an e-commerce project as online shoe store in Next.js 15 and React 19. Next 2 to 3 sessions are going to be around cart section where we are going to create our cart schema and we will create our cart model and also we will create our add to cart component, and then we will maintain our session cart ID in the cookies and we will do the price calculation and then add cart to the database, also adding and removing items from the cart. So a lot of steps will be coming inside this cart section. So let me quickly show you that how it's working in our production environment. So this is our production environment and here we are going to work on this add to cart item, right? So once user will click on this add to cart for any product, it's going to be added to the database. And here we are seeing the message in the snack bar that this shoes is being added to the cart. And here dynamically we can change this quantity for any particular product. And when we are doing it, it's keep updating data to the database. And from here we can go to the cart. Once user will go to the cart, here we can see the shopping cart and list of all the item which is being added to the cart, right? And from here also we can manage the quantity. Also we have use hook, use transition to just show this spinner around this quantity, and on the basis of these quantity changes, here we are updating our total price as well. And one more important thing, if you see here, this user is not signed in, but still we are maintaining this cart for the guest user as well. So once user will log in, then this guest cart session ID is going to be assigned to that particular logged in user. That also we are going to maintain. And in our previous session, we worked on how to handle error in our client component as well as in server component, and what all the special files like error.tsx and global error.tsx. And also we see that how we can handle error for our root layout by using our global error.tsx file. And also we have configured our sentry in order to log the data inside the production. So here once, if you see here inside sentry, as of now, we don't have anything, but once I click on this error simulator, which we have created to just simulate our error at the layout page. So once I click on this, it redirects to the global error.tsx file. And from here, user can go back to the home page or user can refresh the same page, right? So once user will refresh the same page, user will be redirected to the same page, right? And if you see here inside our sentry, here we should be seeing the log, which is being just created. See here, now we are able to see this log, right? And it's just 35 seconds ago created, right? And once you want to see the more details about this log, we can see here in the dashboard regarding all the errors details, right? So handling error in this way, our application is going to be more robust and user friendly. All right. And friends, also there is an announcement that I will be coming live on YouTube, where I'm going to have a free online classes for Next.js 15, and the session is going to be started from 9th of March onwards at the 3 p.m. IST time. So if you are interested to learn Next.js 15 from scratch, then you could join the session. All right. So now let's start working on the cart section.
So first of all, we are going to create our cart item and cart schema. So all the schema which we are creating inside our validator file. So we'll create here cart schema. So export const cart item schema equal to z.object, and inside this we are going to pass all of our properties, right? So first of all, we are going to have product ID z.string. This would be string, and minimum I would be having length of 1, and the message I would be having as a product ID required, product required. And the second thing, we would be going to have name and slug. So here this would be name, and this would be name is required. Here product is required, and this would be slug, and this would be slug required. Okay. Now the next thing we are going to have as a quantity. So this would be QTY, and this would be number. So I'm going to take this as a number, and this would be a integer as well, and I'll take this as an integer. And also I want to have this as a non-negative number, right? Because quantity cannot be non-negative. So here I'll use non-negative, and inside this I'm going to pass text as quantity must be a positive number. All right. Now the next thing, we are going to have image. So here I'll take this image. I'll have minimum 1, and image is required. Okay. And in this cart schema, the last thing we are going to have price, and price would be type of currency. If you remember that we created a currency over here, right? So we are going to use the same currency over everywhere where we are using this price, right? So now we have created our cart item schema, and this cart item schema would be the part of cart schema, right? So we will create a cart schema as well. Now export const insert cart schema. Okay, since we are going to insert this cart to the database as well. Okay, so here z.object, and inside this object we are going to have all the property for our cart schema. So first of all, we are going to have items, because this cart is going to be have multiple items. So this would be a z.array, and this is going to have this cart item schema, right? And the next thing, we are going to have the item price, right? So this would be the items price, and that would be also type of currency. And also we are going to have a total price, and that would be also type of currency. And the other price which we are going to have as a shipping price, and the next price which we are going to have as a tax price, and that would be also type of currency, right? And we are going to have a session cart ID, that would be the cookie. So we are going to maintain that session cart ID as well inside our database. So here we are going to have this session cart ID. So I'll take this one, and that would be type of string. So here I'll mention this session cart ID, right? And this would be type of string one, and session cart ID is required. Okay, and the last thing which we are going to have, the user ID. This cart must be associated with an user, right? If user is a guest, then we should be having this null user ID, right? So let's have this user ID as a field optional here, and we would allow this user ID as nullable, right? So here optional, and we will allow this as a nullable. Got it? So we have created our cart item schema, and also we created our cart schema. Now quickly we are going to create our cart model, since we are going to insert our cart information to the database. So let's quickly create our cart model, and here we are getting some error. What is this? Yeah, that is not required. Remove this. And now we'll quickly create our cart model, and all the cart model is being created inside our Prisma. So here inside our schema Prisma, here we are going to create a cart model, right? So here at the end of this file, here we are going to create our cart model. Since already I have created this cart model, so just to save our time, I'll paste this cart model over here. And here you see we are getting an error, reference error, that error validating user in model cart. The relation field user on model cart is missing, and opposite relation field on the model user, right? So what we'll do here, inside our user, we are going to, now here we will add reference of cart under user model. So here this would be array of cart, right? Now let's select all and format this document. Yep, now it's formatted, right? So here we have our cart reference. Now if you see here, the reference error has gone. So if you see here, this ID is the cart ID, and this user ID is having the reference inside our cart model for the user, and this is session cart ID, which where we are going to maintain our cookie ID. And this is the collection of items. Initially we have a blank array, the default value, and here we have item price, total price, shipping price, and tax price up to 2 places of the decimal. And this is created at, and this is the reference we have added inside our user model for the user ID, right? So this is our user ID, which is having the reference of ID inside our user model. Got it? Now let's quickly migrate our model and create table inside our database. Now let's open the terminal here. I'll open another terminal, and here first of all we have to generate our client. So we have command npx prisma generate, right? In order to generate our Prisma client. So this is going to generate our Prisma client, and after that we are going to migrate. Okay, so now Prisma client is generated. See here, we got this message, generated Prisma client. Now we are going to migrate. So we have command npx prisma migrate dev, since we are using in our dev environment, and we will give the name of the migration. So here I'll give the name of the migration is add cart, and let's press enter. So now it's going to migrate from our model to the tables, right? So here Prisma schema loaded from our Prisma schema. So now if we see here, we got this message, your database is now synced with your schema. And also here in the migration folder, this migration.sql got generated. So let's see inside our migration folder. Here we have migration, and if you see this add cart, right? And inside this add cart, if you see this migration.sql, so this migration.sql is having a script for the create cart table, right? And this is being executed inside our database, and our cart table is created. Now let me show you that our cart table. So we have a command here, npx Prisma Studio. Through that we can see our tables. So here npx Prisma Studio, right? Here we are getting a message to upgrade our Prisma from 6.3 to 6.4. Now our Prisma is running on port 55. So now let's see in the browser. Now here you can see in the Prisma Studio, here we will be able to see this cart. Now see, here we are seeing all these fields, ID, user ID. So this cart model is being migrated into the table inside our database. All right. Now further we are going to work on this add to cart button. So we will replace this button with the add to cart component, and we will add the functionality for add to cart. And also we will remove this error simulator which we have added in order to simulate our error on layout page. So let's quickly do that. So here we will go to the layout page, and on this layout page, so I'll just comment these lines from here, and I'll comment this line as well. Okay. Now if we see here, now refresh, and now we are not able to see our error simulator anymore, right? Now let's start working on this add to cart button and create a component for it. So now let's flip to the Visual Studio. Now here we are going to create a add to cart component inside our component folder, component shared product, and inside this we are going to create a file as add to cart.tsx, and inside this sfc stateless function component add to, and we are going to make this component as a client component. So here we are going to use decorator as use client, and inside this we are going to pass our prop as item. Item would be type of cart item, and this cart item we can take it from type, right? So we will create inside our type. Here we are creating all the types, right? So similarly, which we have created for product, we will create another type over here as a cart and cart item, right? So this would be cart, and this could be insert cart schema, right? Which we have created. So this would be insert cart schema. Let's import it from our lib validator schema. You remember that we created our insert cart schema, and here we have cart item schema. So this would be cart item, and this would be cart item schema, right? See, this cart item schema is imported from lib validator, right? So now we have our cart type and cart item type, and this cart item type that we are going to pass in our add to cart component. So we will import this cart item from types, and here we will return add to cart. Okay. And now inside our product page, here inside root product, and here we have our slug, product slug, right? So this is specific for product type page. So here we are going to replace our component with this add to cart button. Okay. So I'll comment it for now, and here simply we are going to add to cart component. So it's imported from product add to cart, right? And in this component we need to pass our attribute which is item. So here we are going to pass our item attribute, and in the item first of all we are going to pass our product id, and in this product id we will be having our product.id, and the second item we are going to have as a name, and here we will be having slug, this product.slug. We should be having price here, this product.price, and we would be having quantity. By default I'm going to have the quantity 1 over here, and also we need to pass image, right? So here we have image, and this would be product.images, which is an array. So here we are going to take the first one, product first image is going to be inside our add to cart item. Okay. Now see what is the error that we are seeing over here, this button, right? So we are not using this button component here, so we will remove this line as well. Now let's quickly see in the browser. So here refresh this. Now we should be seeing here add to cart text. Yep, right. Now we are seeing the add to cart text over here. So our add to cart component is successfully bind over here. Now we will do the changes in our add to cart component. Now inside our add to cart component, here let's replace this text with the button. So here we are going to have button, and button is imported from component UI ShadCN button, right? And now here we'll have class name as width full. We'll give type as button, and we will give on click. And here we are going to pass a function handle add to cart. We will create this function shortly, and inside this button we are going to mention as add to cart, right? Now create this function handle add to cart over here. Here right before our return const handle add to cart, and this would be a sync function because we are going to use our server action here, a sync fat arrow function, and here we are going to return response from our server action. So we will create a server action here. So now let's create our server action here inside our lib action. Now we are going to create another file over here as a cart action.ts. Okay, so here cart.action.ts file, right? And here we are going to define our annotation as use server, since we are going to make a server action over here, right? And here we are going to create a function, export a sync function as add item to cart, right? And inside this we are going to pass data type of cart item, right, which we have created inside our type. And inside this function, simply for the time being, I'm going to return as success true, and also message as item added to the cart, right? So for the time being, I have just returned the success message from this function to just to test our function. Later on, we are going to add this cart item to our database. Now let's use this function here inside add to cart, and inside this function, we are going to call our server action cast response equal to await add item to the cart, right? And we are going to pass this item inside our this function. All right, and we need to import it. Yep, it's already imported. Now once item is added to the cart and we got the success message, so here on the basis of success message from the response, if response dot success, so we are going to show that message that item is added to the cart in a toast. So we are going to use a component toast component from our ShadCN. So now let me quickly show you that. Here we have ShadCN toast, and we are going to add this in our application, right? And here let's open the terminal. I'll add another terminal over here and let's add it. It's asking to install ShadCN 2.4.0. So let's press Y and proceed. So now here we got the message the toast component is deprecated, right? Use the sooner component instead. So now let's see what is the sooner component. Now let's find sooner, right? So this is our sooner component. Let's add it, and here we have its code to add. Yeah, let's copy this and add it over here, right? And now we will use our legacy pair depths. So now our sooner ShadCN component is added, and if you want to see, here you can see inside our component UI, and here we have our sonar.tsx, right, which is our sonar component. Now we are going to use this sonar component. So here we need to import toaster from sooner and add it to our root layout. So we will go inside our root layout. See, this is our root layout, and here we are going to import this toaster, and we are going to use this toaster component right after this our children. Okay, and the second thing, here we have to import this toast from sooner. So I'll copy this and go to our add to cart component, and here we will import this toast, and now we are going to use this toast over here. Okay, now let's how this toast is implemented. So here we have its complete code. So we are going to copy this toast completely here, and we will paste it here. Okay, and here we will use our template literals, and we will add our dollar sign, then curly bracket and item dot name, right? And then after that add it to the cart, right? And for the time being, I'll just comment this description, and here inside this action, here we have add to cart. This could be the button, and inside this click, here we are going to redirect router.push to the cart, right? And this router we are going to import it from use router. So here const router equal to use router from our next navigation, right? Since we are using our app routing, so we are going to use next navigation. Now it's going to be redirected to the cart page. So let's quickly see. So now once we click on this button, we should see a toast message. See, now here we are seeing a message inside this toast. This Monty Sports shoes added to the cart, and once we will click on this add to cart button, it should redirect to the cart page. So now it's redirected to the cart page. Obviously, we don't have the cart page as of now. So whatever we have done so far, it's working fine. So in this section, we have created our cart schema, cart model, and then we have migrated our model to our database. And after that, we created our add to cart component, and also we implemented toast inside our add to cart component. Now in the next session, we are going to maintain our session cart ID inside the cookies. And also we are going to get the item from the cart, and we will do the price calculation, and we will add our cart item to the database. All right. And I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. And if you found this tutorial helpful, do me a favor, like this video to support me and my channel, and subscribe my channel if you haven't already done so far for more content like this, and share this with your fellow developer who might find it useful. And if you really love my work, then consider buying me a coffee to support for more free tutorials. Link is given below in the description. Alright, that's all for the day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and keep learning.